Bottom line, we want to look at how do you use your website to get more leads. So just a quick overview. The first thing we want to look at, and we'll spend a little bit of time on, is why traditional marketing and advertising and sales tactics aren't as effective as they used to be. Secondly, we want to take a look at how can you leverage your website in your lead generation efforts. The third thing we want to take a look at is how do you evaluate? We've got to put some metrics to your website. So how do we do that? What are some tools to do that with? And then ultimately we want to look at some specific tools and takeaways so that you can start at least moving forward if you're not already doing this with your website. People are overloaded with noise. They don't want to be sold. They don't want to be interrupted. And they expect personalization. If anytime somebody calls and they just simply ask for a title, can I talk to the owner of the company? They're not doing their research. A little bit of research and you can at least get the name. Part of our role in a sales process and a marketing process is educating, because one of the things that you probably run into is that sometimes people have enough information to be dangerous. They know enough, and honestly, a lot of times they end up being confused. So sometimes our role from a marketing standpoint, from a sales standpoint, is to educate. It is to help address assumptions and the things that people come to the table with. So the amount of information can be a good thing, but it can also be challenging from a sales standpoint because sometimes you have to de-educate before you can properly educate them. You want your website to be a reflection of what you're trying to accomplish sales-wise. Think about it the way you think about your sales process. If you meet somebody at a networking event, you probably have some sort of a process to try to move through. You meet them, you interact, you have a basic conversation. Maybe you set up a time to go have a cup of coffee, learn more about what their needs are. Maybe you do some assessment. And then ultimately you want to try to move that person to a point where you're either providing them with a proposal if they're qualified, if there's opportunity there that matters, and then ultimately closing that business. Well, it's no different with your website. Blog regularly. New content is crucial for the search engines. Google puts a lot of weight on fresh content on your site. And as you have more content on your site that's relevant, that's meaningful, then there are more opportunities for your website to show up when somebody searches for something. And if you blog and sometimes you wonder about what could I blog about, what are the questions that people ask you? What are the questions that come up during the course of sales conversations? What are the questions that prospects ask you about your company, about your business, about how does this work? That's a great place to start because you can start providing that information. If they're asking you that question, people are searching that question as well. And so why shouldn't you be there when people are searching for it?